The Millionaire Midwife, Birthing the True Self. Junko's Story, Episode 5, The Ripple Effect of Leadership. In Episode 4, Junko took her first steps into resilience, embracing her imperfections and learning to grow from them. Her confidence began to blossom, but growth brings new challenges. In Episode 5, Junko finds herself stepping into an uncharted role, leadership. How does she rise to the occasion, and what impact does she have on those around her? Junko returned to class with a quiet determination that felt stronger, deeper than before. Her recent emotional breakthroughs had unlocked a spark within her, a belief in her ability to change. Yet, stepping into this new version of herself wasn't without its doubts. During a group exercise, the class was working on refining their presentations. Daiki, a soft-spoken boy who rarely participated, was faltering. His voice quivered, and his words tangled in his nervousness. The rest of the group, unsure of how to intervene, sat in polite silence. Junko, however, leaned forward. "Daiki," she said gently, her tone calm but steady, "try slowing down. Take a deep breath before you speak." Her words carried a quiet authority, the kind born not from perfection, but from empathy. Daiki looked at her, nodded hesitantly, and tried again. This time, his voice was steadier, his words more deliberate. Across the room, I watched the scene unfold. This wasn't the same Junko who used to sit at the back of the class avoiding eye contact and trembling at the thought of speaking. This was a Junko who had begun to embrace her voice, not just for herself, but for others. The birth of a leader. After class, I called Junko over. "Do you know what you just did today?" She looked puzzled. "Helped Daiki?" "You didn't just help him," I said. "You lifted him. That's what leaders do." Her eyes widened, and she shook her head. "But I'm not a leader, Sensei. I don't know how to lead." "Junko," I said with a smile, "leadership isn't about knowing everything. It's about lifting others as you rise, and you're already doing that." She hesitated. "What if I make mistake? What if I let people down?" "Junko," I said, "mistakes are not the opposite of success. They're part of it. True leadership isn't about being flawless. It's about having the courage to try, to learn, and to grow." I could see her processing the words, her expression softening as she considered the possibility that she could lead without being perfect. The ripple effect. The following week, I gave Junko a new challenge, leading her group in a collaborative project. At first, she struggled. Taking responsibility for others felt daunting. Instead of delegating, she tried to shoulder all the work herself, fearing that letting others contribute might jeopardize the outcome. I noticed her tension and pulled her aside. "Junko, leadership isn't about doing everything alone," I said gently. "Trust your team. Give them the chance to step up. When you empower others, you'll find They often rise beyond your expectations." She nodded slowly, the idea sinking in. When she returned to her group, she began assigning tasks, encouraging her teammates to contribute their strengths. Though hesitant at first, they responded eagerly, and soon the group found its rhythm. By the end of the session, their project stood out as one of the best in the class. What struck me most wasn't just the quality of their work, it was the dynamic of the group. Junko's leadership had inspired a sense of camaraderie and mutual respect. Her growth was no longer just her own. It was rippling out to those around her. The Millionaire Midwife connection. Watching Junko's transformation reminded me of a fundamental truth. Leadership isn't about commanding, it's about connecting. True leaders inspire others not by being perfect, but by showing what's possible and creating space for others to shine. As her mentor, my role was to guide her through the labour pains of leadership. Like any birth, the process required patience, trust, and the courage to let go of control. Junko's journey is proof that when we step into leadership, we don't just change our own lives, we create a ripple effect that touches everyone around us. In episode 6, as Junko's confidence in leadership grows, she begins to develop a mindset for abundance. She learns how to cultivate habits that fuel long-term success. What are these transformative practices, and how do they shape her journey? Stay tuned for the next chapter of Junko's story.